So hello everybody, welcome to Eigen TV. In today's episode, we'll be talking with both Murray and Joel about our new Decision Bridge technology, which is very exciting. So what I'm going to do is just open up the conversation and invite both Murray and Joel to hopefully start with explaining what Decision Bridge technology is, with the view to then explain, why it's useful for you and why this is a brilliant thing, a brilliant concept that we're introducing. So over to you guys.
Thanks, Effie. So the key with Decision Bridge technology is it's about linking from finding information, understanding it, to taking an action. In anything, you need to make good decisions to be successful. To improve, you either need to make a better decision than you would have done before, or you need to make the same decision, but quicker. So if you look at where we've been with digital initiatives, a lot of it has been focused on just getting the information in front of people. So dashboards. Can I see it on the web? Can I have access to it? But that doesn't make you more efficient. You still need to do something with it. And the way that's been done for years is by copying and pasting into Office documents. People put it in Excel, they make a PowerPoint, they send a report by email. So the actual whole process of getting to the point where you've made the decision isn't getting any quicker. And it's still the case. If you just get a dashboard, you don't speed up the overall decision-making process. You may help people become better informed about what's going on, but you need to look at the whole workflow in order to get more efficient. And that's where Decision Bridge technology comes in. It's about the in-between things that help you speed up the overall workflow. So for example, moving from where you can see information to actually doing work on it, then distributing it or recording an action.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so many times we've seen clients over the years just having dashboards there, they know what's going on, but then they spend so much time just copying and pasting information. Typically, they use Excel to do some calculations, and they typically from there copy paste into PowerPoint because managers want to see PowerPoint, and typically gets emailed. The other problem with that is, where's the record of where the last decision and the document is? It's just in an inbox somewhere. And it's the key thing about Decision Bridge, as you said, Marie, is completely optimizing the whole process, because engineers managing a field, they have very little time. They don't have time for this copy pasting. It's going to be, it's completely inefficient.
I think that's an important point, Joel, because that time is hidden. It's a hidden loss, if you like, in the system, because you can get to the point where, like, oh, I know what the right decision is now. But if you then have to go and open a spreadsheet, type it in, or copy paste it out, you've gone back into slow mode. And 30 minutes of a senior person's time is, if you work 8 hours a day, that's a 16th of their day gone. Totally. If it takes any more than that, you don't get so many half hours of a senior person's time.
Yeah,
so if you waste it doing low value tasks, then it's inefficient.
It's totally inefficient. I mean, we wrote the blog earlier. I was looking it up this morning, and it's the copy paste craze, and it's totally an example of this. It's a real example, a real client we have. They used to spend so much time taking data from a system, putting it in an Excel sheet, adding additional data, doing some calculations for plant availability, plant availability of the asset, and oh my gosh, when he learned that within Ingenuity, he had the digital meetings functionality, which is part of Decision Bridge, he talked to us, we configured a report for him, and now he's a happy man. He just one click every week, and he gets the report automatically emailed to his managers. And the beauty is, now instead of spending all that time copying and pasting, which is essentially a repeatable process that a robot can do, he can spend more time, analyzing why the availability is down, what are the risks to availability, doing engineering work instead of doing all that manual work.
I think it'd be really good to just pause for a moment, just explain to everybody, because you mentioned Ingenuity. And whilst, of course, we've got references to Ingenuity on our channel, maybe it'd be really good for anybody watching this just to have a really high level, short explanation of what Ingenuity is and what it offers.
Sure. Well, Ingenuity is a platform for doing work more efficiently. It contains connectors to existing systems. It has a visualization components to let you build displays. It has search, so you can find stuff quickly. And it has a data model that allows you to map how everything's connected in your organization. And the data might be data in another system, could be values from sensors or documents or maintenance records, but it can also be concepts that humans understand. So for example, a safety barrier, it's a protective function, and that can link to many different things, including personnel competencies and physical equipment. So Decision Bridge technology sits within and on top of Ingenuity. It's part of this. It's made up of lots of the different modules within Ingenuity that you can combine in a way that lets you take a decision, get to a decision quicker.
I think when you formulated the whole concept of Decision Bridge technology and we were getting it ready to release it, it's something that you guys have been doing already, but we've just wrapped some words around it, like wrapped a term around it. And that's something that obviously we're working on to make visible to everybody now. I think Joel had a really great example in terms of client, but are there any other examples where you've worked with people in the past and you've just seen where Decision Bridge technology has been really effective for them?
Yeah, so there's an example of one of the aspects called Screen Presenter, which is the ability to just publish information to an organization quickly. Again, previously this was being made in PowerPoint. So you make it in PowerPoint and then it was emailed out to the organization. And so that means people then have to choose to open that. And it creates a lot of storage on their computer. And you don't, if you want to send an update, you think twice, because if it's a 15 megabyte file, you don't want to be sending an update every day. So what we are able to do is to take that PowerPoint. So the existing work process stays the same, but we've greatly speeded up the process of publishing it to people. So now that PowerPoint becomes an online slideshow that's automatically updated as soon as the PowerPoint's updated. So that means that we've reduced inbox clutter. It's much easier for people to access the latest information. It's always the same URL, and they can now publish it on communal displays. So we've removed the need for anyone to have to take the PowerPoint, now load it onto the different computers that ran the public displays, and then select that PowerPoint, display it, make sure it's on all the individual screens. Now it's just a URL. You just leave the computers on that URL and it will always show the latest information. So you say, well, yeah, but what's the decision that you're taking at the end of that? Well, with corporate-wide information, there's lots of different decisions that will get taken by different people based on that. What we saw it used for to great effect was publishing coronavirus actions. Because the situation was changing so quickly, the ability to put online the latest corporate guidelines on what you're supposed to do, who should be in the office, what the one-way system is in the canteen, it just gave a channel for very quickly making available correct current information to the company.
Absolutely. I think, you know, there's lots of technologies to put dashboards out there, but what we're on about with Decision Bridge is taking this further. We understand people need dashboards, but unless you can make a decision quicker or a better decision, there is no value. And that's what we're trying to achieve with this technology.
I think that's a great point. What you can end up doing is making a slower decision if you have too much information. If you end up with many new signals coming in from, say, advanced AI tools, they might be telling you the right thing, but unless you can hone in and understand that this piece of information is the key one, you're not any more efficient. You run the risk of drowning in it. And once you've found that information, you then need to be able to do the next things. How do you record that decision? And how do you communicate the actions with people?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, why did we come up with it? Because you mentioned that we've kind of had these things. Why have we come up with a name, or what's behind it? So what's behind the thinking, or the reason we've now named this Decision Bridge? And it's because when we look back on the projects that have been successful that we've done, just visualizing information has only been a part of it. It's always the starting point, connecting to information and visualizing it, but the reason it gets adopted then by the company is because of the extra bits. And it's like the in-between spaces that don't get thought of. I guess people have a view of something on the screen, it will look amazing, and that's maybe the thing that kicks it off. But it's when you get into it and you talk to the users and then understand, well, what would help you to use this every day? What would make your lives better? It's always these add-on bits. Well, when I see this, I then need to do this. And it's when we started linking those bits together into a complete workflow, suddenly projects we delighted the users. They were really happy with it. It's what made the project successful.
So who would Decision Bridge technology be useful for now?
So if you have an operation that you're trying to make more efficient, but what you're staring at is just a forest of spreadsheets or PowerPoint files, and it's hard to trace, so-and-so sends this, they do this. This is a classic use case for Ingenuity and Decision Bridge technology. It's great at unpicking the process and then going step by step to digitize it so that you can take spreadsheets and replace them with online calculations, automatic and processes, then put them together into a digital workflow that you can then basically put into operation and remove the need for those spreadsheets, and also make the process much more auditable and supportable and traceable. Remove dependencies on existing staff. If you've got certain spreadsheets that only Bob knows how it works, then this is a great example of great use case for going digital with it.
It's amazing, isn't it, how long live the spreadsheet, because it's amazing how long it has been around for. It's almost like it was created, we all latched onto it, and we haven't let it go. It's like, despite the incredible technology that we have around us, we seem to still rely on our office tools, like PowerPoints, like spreadsheets. But it's not just creating multiple versions of those. You know, some companies were going to filing structures and have time spent talking about filing structures and storage space and file name conventions and all these kind of things, because you've got multiple versions of the same documents. And, you know, now it's about how do we make things smarter? How do we make things better, more efficient? And
that's exactly it. The reason that we use Excel and PowerPoint is because they're so easy to use. They're always going to be here. I use them loads. But that becomes the curse as you make something that goes into production or becomes something you depend on, because it can become unwieldy very quickly, very hard to manage. If you're going to move on to become a digital outfit, you've got to tackle, like grasp the nettle almost. These processes have to be sorted out. And often the difficulty is no one really understands how they work. You can't stop them because you need them to run day to day. So how do you move them to the next level and give yourself a platform that you can then build on? While you're based on these complicated interactive spreadsheets or documents or emails, you can't add on a more advanced AI, machine learning based algorithm. What would you train it on? How would you audit the outcome? You've got to move these processes to a more secure footing. Then you can build more advanced stuff on top of them.
I think you're right, because actually it helps people to put in place a strong foundation, because as they say, if you've got strong roots, then you can grow a mighty oak. And I think with digitalization and the way that it's evolving, and AI and lots of different new technologies coming in, you know, we need to actually stabilize that foundation in order to be able to build upon. And I think that's very much what you've been talking around in terms of Decision Bridge technology. So it's brilliant, really, really brilliant. Thank you, Murray.
Great, thanks, Effie.
Well, if somebody is watching this and they're interested and have some questions, I know that we'll be planning some webinars, blog posts, lots of different things around Decision Bridge technology to help educate people and create awareness around it. But if anyone's got any questions, where would you like them to go?
So if you go to our website, which is www.eigen.co, or a new microsite we're creating, www.decisionbridgetechnology.co.uk, you'll find information there.
I would add to that, if you have any problems that you would like to solve using Decision Bridge technology, inspired by the examples we're going to post, then let us know and put it down, and we can analyze how we can speed up your decisions in your particular problem.
Okay, and to also help, I'll add the links below so that everybody can then go straight to the microsite and hopefully find out a little bit more. But if you've got any questions, please let us know. We're always monitoring the channels and answering anybody. You know, if you want to find us on LinkedIn as well, just have a look at our videos. If you want to attend one of our webinars, then again, I'll put all the information below, so feel free to let us know.